The U.S. Attorney is the top federal prosecutor in the state of Nevada. His office is handling some cases related to Black Lives Matter protests. Last year, his office decided not to move forward with a case of alleged police corruption. The I-Team's Vanessa Murphy talked with the U.S. Attorney about that this week.
The U.S. Attorney's Office announcing arrests this week. 3 men accused of setting this Metro Police vehicle on fire, and 3 other men accused of plotting to use Molotov cocktails at this Black Lives Matter protest Saturday night. FBI SWAT picked them up before they went into action.
Violent instigators have hijacked peaceful protests throughout the country.
Nicholas Trutanich is the U.S. Attorney for the District of Nevada. He was appointed under the Trump administration by Attorney General William Barr in 2019.
As the U.S. Attorney, you have a lot of power. What do you want to say about the movement behind these protests and their cause?
Well, there are certainly real and legitimate concerns about what happened to Mr. Floyd and his death. And those protesters are throughout the country and here in Nevada are demonstrating and voicing their concern through their right under the First Amendment.
3 out of 4 federal buildings in Nevada have been vandalized within the past week. Trutanich says investigators are actively working on trying to find out who these individuals are.
We are going to do our level best to send the message that free expression is to be embraced, meaning lawful free expression is to be embraced, and that any attempt to interfere with that will be dealt with swiftly by the federal justice system.
The U.S. Attorney's Office can also prosecute corrupt police officers. As the I-Team reported, only 1 person was charged after an investigation into alleged corruption in Metro's Vice Unit, which handles sex trafficking and prostitution. And the defendant wasn't a member of law enforcement.
Part of the movement is that people want bad cops to be held accountable. Your office investigated police corruption that we reported on, that the I-Team reported on, and no cops were charged, just a pimp. What can you say about that?
I'm here today to talk about the 3 defendants that were charged criminally by the Joint Terrorism Task Force with trying to hijack the peaceful protests that are going on. At another time, I'd be welcome the opportunity to sit down and discuss your investigative work and the fine work by law enforcement career officials to investigate the case that you're referencing.
Vanessa Murphy, 8 News Now.
Clark County Sheriff Joe Lombardo has said Metro's Vice Unit is cleaned up through a plea deal. Jamal Rashid, also known as Molly Mall, admitted he was a pimp and he has not yet been sentenced.